Good morning, children. Okay, this is the first session on in fourth standard about social science. Okay, last year also we have having the subject social science. In the first chapter is celestial bodies. What do you mean by celestial bodies? The heavenly bodies which are in the space, they are called celestial bodies. Okay, once again I repeat it. The heavenly bodies which are in the space, they are called celestial bodies. Okay, here some of the questions some of the questions are given here. Okay, the conversation between the brother and sister they have given. One night, Lakshmi was playing with her brother Gautam. Okay, one day there is a brother and sister. The brother name is Gautam and sister name is Lakshmi. Okay, both are playing. Suddenly she looked through the window and saw that the moon was shining in the sky. Okay, suddenly the Lakshmi has seen outside from the window. Okay, by seeing outside she can see a moons. Okay, so not moons, a moon, and different stars are twinkling in the sky. The shining moon attracted her. She also saw that the whole sky was full of beautiful stars. Okay, she also saw that the complete sky is full of beautiful stars and the shining moon. She asked Gautam, "Does the sky have only the moon, the stars, and the sun?" Okay, the Lakshmi asked his brother Gautam, "In sky there is only stars, moon, and sun in the sky." Gautam smiled and said, "No, sister." Okay, Gautam, this is brother, he said, "No, sister. Some still other celestial bodies are present present in the sky. The sky is very vast. It has planets, satellites, and asteroids also. Sky is very vast. Okay, up to where we are seeing, up to the sky was there. So it is very vast. Okay, and in the sky there are so many planets, satellites, and asteroids also." Lakshmi was surprised. She wanted to know more about the mysterious sky. She was very surprised and she wanted to know more about all these things, which means planets, satellites, and asteroids also. So the next day, Gautam went to his teachers with Lakshmi. Okay, next day what the Gautam has did? He took his sister to the class teacher. His teacher was very happy to tell them about the universe and the solar system. She was very happy to explain about the solar system and also the universe. This is what she told them. Okay, now I'll explain the lesson. Okay, all these things has been explained by his teacher to Lakshmi. The universe. What do you mean by the universe? The vast open space that we see above us with the sun, stars, planets, meteoroids, comets, and the moon is called the universe. It is the vast open space where we can see all these things: sun, stars, planets, meteoroids, comets, and moon also. It includes all the heavenly bodies. Okay, it includes all the heavenly bodies. Means so many big planets, stars are present in the universe. Okay, in universe we will study about the solar system. Okay, the sun, the 8 planets, and their satellites. Satellite means moons. Okay, and other heavenly bodies like comets and asteroids form the solar system. Okay, solar system, all these are present. Which are the present? Planets. Okay, and their satellites. Example, we can see the moon in night. It is also a satellite. Okay, it is a natural satellite which revolves around the earth. And the same way other planets also have the satellites, like how we have the moon for the earth. For other planets also having the satellites, other moons. And other heavenly bodies like Still, not only the planets and satellites and sun are present in the sky, but like comets and asteroids form the solar system. Now we will discuss all about the solar system, planets, comets, and everything. Okay, I will draw the picture of solar system. Okay, this is the off sun. In the first sun, there are 8 planets are revolving around the sun. Okay, this is the off sun. Here the first is Mercury. Okay, the first planet is Mercury and the second is Venus, little bit big than the Mercury. This is Mercury. First planet is Mercury, second is Venus, okay. And third, the blue planet, this is Earth. On which we are living. And next is Mars. It is also called red planet and it is also a little bit smaller than the Earth. So it is Mars. Next is Jupiter. It's very bigger and very big planet in the solar system. This is Jupiter. Next is Saturn. For this, it's having the ring. That is Saturn. And next is Uranus and Neptune. Okay. Okay, this is the solar system. Here we can see it is a sun. And the first planet of the solar system is Mercury. And the second is Venus. Third is Earth. Fourth, Mars. Fifth is Jupiter. Sixth is Saturn. Seventh is Uranus. And eighth is Neptune. Okay. A planet is a heavenly body that circles around the sun. It gets its light from the sun. There are 8 planets in our solar system. Okay, planet is a heavenly bodies that revolve around the sun. Okay, in this pattern, all the planets will revolve around the sun. Okay, how many planets are there? Total 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, name them: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Okay, in small box they have given tag no more. Till August 2006, Pluto was also considered a planet. However, in a meeting of International Astronomical Union, a decision was taken that Pluto is like other celestial objects and may be called a dwarf planet or Pluto. Okay, up to 2006 of August. Okay, they thought there are 9 planets. After Neptune, you get another one planet as a Pluto before. Okay, before 2000, in the August 2006, they had declared only 8 planets which revolve around the sun. It may be planet of the other system. Okay. Okay, and it is also a dwarf planet. The summary of the 8 planets of the solar system is given below. Now we will study about each planet, about that. Okay, first is Mercury. Okay, first is Mercury. Closest to the sun, the smallest planet has no satellites. Okay, the Mercury is very close to the sun. Okay, it is the first planet and which is also very close to the sun, and it does not have any satellites. Okay, how our Earth has the moon, natural satellite as moon, but Mercury does not have any satellites. And it is also a smallest planet. Mercury, when you compare to the other 7 planets, Mercury is a very small planet. Next is Venus. The hottest and the brightest planet. Venus is a very hottest and very brightest planet, called the morning and evening star, and no satellites. Okay, when you wake up in the morning at 4 o'clock, you can see in the east side you can see a big twinkling like star, but it is not a star, it is a Venus planet. Okay, in the early morning you can see that. Tomorrow do one thing, wake up at 4 o'clock and see in the east of your home. You can see the Venus planet. It is very bright and it is very twinkling also. And it also don't have any planets. So it also don't have any satellites. Third is Earth. Earth called the blue planet, only the planet where life is known to exist as one satellite. It is called the blue planet. The third is our Earth. It is also called a blue planet. When you see the Earth from the space, the Earth will look in blue color because of the presence of water on the Earth. This is the only planet where the human beings and all the living beings exist on the Earth, and has one satellite. For our Earth, there is a one satellite you can see every day night. No, that is Moon. Okay. Next, fourth is Mars. This is Mars. Fourth is Mars, called red planet. It is called a red planet because the surface of the Mars is red in color because of the presence of red mud and rocks are present on the Mars. It looks like a red planet and it has 2 satellites. Mars has the 2 satellites, but our Earth is bigger than the Mars, but our Earth has only 1 satellite. When you compare to the Mars, it is a little bit smaller than the Earth, but it has 2 satellites. Next, fourth, Jupiter, the largest planet. The Jupiter is larger than all other the planet. It has 66 satellites. How many satellites Jupiter has? 66. Our Earth has only 1 satellite. Mars has 2 satellites, but for Jupiter it has 66 satellites. In Mercury and Venus there is no satellites itself. From Earth, Mars and Mercury, all the planets are having the satellites. Okay, for Jupiter it has 66 satellites. Okay, Saturn has rings around it called the planet of rings, has 62 satellites. Okay, the Saturn is called the rings of planet of rings. Okay, this is called the ring which wheels around the Saturn. It is called planet of rings. It has 62 satellites. Okay, Saturn has 62 satellites and it is very beautiful to see also. Okay, Uranus. Uranus is a outer planet, has 27 satellites. Okay, it is very cold also, Uranus. It has 27 satellites. And last is about Neptune. It is the coldest planet, farthest from the sun, has 13 satellites. It is the last planet of the solar system, Neptune, and it is very far from the sun. So it is very cold and it has 13 satellites. Okay, how many satellites does Neptune has? 13 satellites. And it is also a very coldest planet. Let us revise once again. There are 8 planets in the solar system. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. For Mercury and Venus, it does not have any satellites. For Earth, we have 1 satellite. For Mars, 2 satellites. And Jupiter has 66 satellites. And Saturn has 62. And Uranus has 27. And last Neptune has 13 satellites. This is about the introduction of the planets. Okay, next class we will study about the stars, satellites, the sun, the moon, meteoroids, and other members of the solar system. Thank you. Okay students, let's continue this lesson. Okay, this is your project work. You have to take a chart and draw the solar system in the chart and color it and name the planets and the sun also. You have to name also that one. Next is about the stars. Okay, you have to remember all the planets name and the places also. First planet is Mercury, second is Venus, third is Earth, fourth is Mars, fifth is Jupiter, sixth is Saturn, seventh is Uranus, eighth is Neptune. Okay, for Earth we have only 1 satellite. For Mars we have 2 satellites. For Jupiter 66, for Saturn 62, for Neptune 27, for Uranus 27, for Neptune 30 satellites. Okay, next we will study about the stars. A star is a huge ball of gases. It gives out its own light and heat. Okay, stars are very huge ball of gases. The stars are completely filled with the gases. It gives out its own light and heat. The sun is the nearest star to the earth. The sun is the star which is very nearer to the earth. Stars look small because they are very far from us. When we see the sky, the stars look very small because they are very far from our earth. Only the sun, it is a star. It is only a nearest to the earth. Next is about the satellites. Satellites are the small bodies that revolve around the planets. The satellites are very small bodies which revolve around the planets. I said no before. This is moon. It is a natural satellite which revolve around the earth. Okay, this is the small heavenly bodies which will revolve around the planets. It has no light and its own. It does not give any light of its own. Okay, all this light we can see from the sun itself. The sun's light we can see on the moon. The moon is a natural satellite of the earth. It has no light of its own. It shines because of reflection of the light of the sun. Okay, how it can get the light? When the sunrise will fall on the earth, in the same time the sunrise will fall on the moon. Okay, this part of the earth can see the light of that moon because the sunrise will fall on the moon. Next is about the sun. About the satellite and stars we have learned now. Now we are going to learn about the sun. The sun is like a big ball of hot gases. It is the star around which the earth and other planets of our solar system revolve. So the sun is the head of the solar system. The sun appears to be larger and brighter than other stars because it is much nearer to the earth. than any other stars. It is the main source of life on the earth since it gives us heat and light. The sun is very big, it is very big, and it is the ball of gases, hot gases. It is the star around which the earth and the other 8 planets are revolving around it. Okay, the sun is the star, it is made up of hot gases. The earth revolves around the sun, and not only earth, the remaining 7 planets also revolving around the sun. Not only 8 planets, along with the 8 planets, their satellites also revolving around the sun. The sun appears to be larger and brighter than other stars because it is much nearer to the earth. Okay, when we compare to the other stars, the sun is very nearer to us, so we can see it is seen in a big. Other stars we can see very small because they are very far from the earth. It is the main source of light on the earth since it gives us heat and light. It is the main source of the life because the sun gives the heat and light to the earth. Next is about the moon. The moon. The earth's moon is the brightest object in the night sky. Okay, in the night sky, how in the daytime we can see the sun in a big size, in the same way in the daytime we can see the moon, Earth's moon in a big, very bright. The moon has no light of its own. Before like I said, the moon does not have any light of its own. It gets its light from the sun. Since the moon is nearest to the earth, it appears to be much bigger than the stars because the moon is very nearer to the earth, so it appears very big and bright in the night time. Actually, all the stars and planets are much bigger than the moon. Okay, actually all the stars and planets, they are very bigger than the moon. Multiple choice question. The dash gives us heat and light. Which will give us heat and light? Moon, sun, stars. Which will give us light and heat? The sun gives us the light and heat. The dash has or have no light of its own, their own. Which don't have its own light and heat? Moon, stars or sun. The moon does not have any own light and heat. Next is meteoroids, meteors and meteorites. Okay, first we will study about the meteoroids. Meteoroids are small, rocky and irregular heavenly bodies which revolve around the sun. Scientists believe that meteoroids are leftover rocks during the formation of the solar system. Meteoroids are very small, rocky and irregular heavenly bodies. Okay, they don't have any definite shape. They are rock. How can you see the rocks? No, in that shape it will be. It has very irregular heavenly bodies which revolve around the sun. They also revolve around the sun. Scientists believe that meteoroids are leftover rocks during the formation of the solar system. Okay, there are the rocks which are left over when the formation of the planets, it has been left over. So, that rocks also revolve around the sun. It is called meteoroids. Next is Meteors are burning meteoroids which we see as a bright strike of light that flashing for a moment across the sky. Okay, meteors are burning meteoroids. I said no before only, they heavenly rocky bodies. Okay, which revolve around the sun. That meteors are these heavenly rocky bodies which burn themselves in the sky in the night time. When you are seeing in the sky, suddenly you can see the stars are falling. Okay, that's not a star. They are meteoroids. Meteors. Okay, they are burning itself. They are moving, striking. Meteors also called the shooting stars. We call it as also a shooting stars. So most of the meteors burn up completely before they reach the surface of the earth. Okay, some of the meteors which they will strike in the sky now, they will burn completely before reaching the surface of the earth. Okay, before reaching the earth, they will completely burn off. Meteoroids. Some large meteoroids fail to burn completely and strike the earth's surface. A meteoroid which does not burn completely on entering the Earth's atmosphere and lands on the Earth's surface is known as meteoroid. Okay, meteoroids are the heavenly rocky bodies which revolve around the sun. Meteors are the burning meteoroids which will burn completely before reaching the Earth's surface. These meteoroids they are not completely burned. Okay, they are not completely burned, but it reaches the Earth's atmosphere, strikes the Earth's surface, and lands on the Earth's surface is known as meteoroid. Okay, they are not completely burned; they are half burned, which reaches the Earth's surface. They are called meteoroids. Okay. Okay, this is about the meteoroids, meteors, and meteoroids. Okay, and in this class we have learned about the sun, the moon, the stars, satellites, and the planets, and also about the solar system. I said you to make a chart of the solar system and name the planets in that. And write down the names of a planet each 5 times and send me in WhatsApp. Okay, that is your homework. I'll write in this corner, copy this one. Alright. Names of times. Okay, and also drawing this drawing book itself and name the planets in it. Okay, thank you.